So how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Fallout 4 video, and let's talk about Fallout DLC. I kind of wanted to have a bit of a discussion here with you guys today, talk about the official release window that we've been given from Bethesda themselves, to when we can expect the first DLC for Fallout, give out a little bit of info and kind of throw in a couple of theories here and there as well, and just in general have a little bit of a talk about it, because there's quite a few people in the same position as me right now, where I've put quite a few hours into the game. I think I just got off finishing my third playthrough. Did my first one on the PlayStation 4, if you guys do remember, and then I did my other two on the PC version. Had a lot of fun on my third playthrough, playing around as like a very stealthy kind of character, essentially like a teleporting blitz ninja, which was an absolutely crazy way to play. Definitely something to suggest if you are looking for a very fun kind of character build or way to play Fallout. Check out the teleporting melee assassin, link down in the description down below. But it gets to the point where I'm at right now, where there isn't really too much left to do in Fallout. You know, I'm still diving into the whole settlement kind of thing. I'm having a lot of fun with that. But in terms of adventuring and questing, there really isn't much left for me to do. So I'm kind of waiting on DLC to be released to fully get back into Fallout. And I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of you guys out there are kind of in the same position as me right now. So I guess let's start this off with the official release time window from Bethesda themselves. And although they haven't actually given us an official release date for the first DLC just yet, the company has stated that they do plan on releasing the first DLC in early 2016. Of course, early there being a bit of an ambiguous word, but at the very least, it does mean that we are going to get the DLC before June. I would probably even go further on to say that I would expect it in the first quarter, so we're talking from now up until March is kind of when I'm expecting it, maybe end of February, March time. But, you know, at the very least, we know that it is coming before June, which is pretty awesome information. I mean, it is quite far away still, but at least we have, you know, a release time window. And with that in mind, we now move on to the actual content itself, which unfortunately, nobody knows what Bethesda is actually cooking up, but there's been a lot of ideas and information thrown out there from cut content and stuff like that, which I'll talk about, a couple of theories and stuff that I do want to discuss with you guys as well. But let's talk about the standards first. As many of you may know, you know, from previous Fallout titles such as Fallout 3 and various other Bethesda titles, all the DLCs are very similar in sense. I mean, they all have new quests, new characters, new places to explore, new items, etc. And I guess that's very standard for, you know, open world RPGs similar to Fallout. And I guess I'd be very surprised if, you know, Bethesda decided to drift away from that kind of formula and do something completely random and completely different, if you know what I mean. So with that in mind, let's talk about the cut content first and where that DLC kind of rumor spread and DLC, I guess, theory spread. The combat zone in Fallout 4, for those of you who don't know, is exactly where you find it, the companion known as Kate. And the combat zone itself is located very close to Swan's Pond and the town of Goodneighbor and various other locations around it, just to give you guys a general idea of where this is located. And for the actual layout itself, it's pretty much a theater with a large cage that dominates the main stage area. And as soon as you go in there, you're going to get attacked by a bunch of raiders. And the only two people who aren't hostile in there are both Kate as well as Tommy Lonergan. Tommy Lonergan is quite interesting here because he actually has some audio files that were cut from the game that suggest that the cage in here was going to be used as an arena. And I guess when you're first approaching this place, a lot of people would think that, you know, combat zone, you would think that it's going to be some kind of arena that you can actually fight in, and it seems as though that was actually going to be the case, and it was just cut from the game at the last minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play these audio files to you guys that once again do suggest that you could fight in this arena for money and, you know, just generally have, you know, fights in this arena, and then I'll come back afterwards and talk to you guys a little bit once again about these audio files.
In case I'm not being clear, it's either fight in the cage or face the collective wrath of my disappointed patrons. I pay you a little something for each fight. The harder the fight, the bigger the pay. The prize will go up in size as you go up in rank. No guns, no power armor. Think you can handle yourself in the cage? I'll put you up against tougher fighters. Stay alive and earn yourself 200 caps. Die, and earn the other guy the same. You've lasted longer than I thought. You here for another go in the cage?
Credit going out to Kotaku there for those audio files. You can find their link down in the description down below. And as you can see, they do suggest that you was able to fight in here at one point or another. So this was something that seems to have been scrapped or cut from the game at the last minute by Bethesda. And that begs the question, why was it actually scrapped? Or why was it actually cut from the game? It seems like a pretty awesome feature that I'm pretty sure would be a little bit of fun at the time. Although the fighting style is quite simple in Fallout, it still would be a great feature in my opinion. And that's where the DLC theory comes into play. A lot of people do believe that this is something that could be added down the line, either as a free update or something that would come alongside another update, because of course this alone just wouldn't be enough as a standalone DLC. But that's definitely a very plausible theory. I do believe that this could be something that comes in the form of a DLC, whether it's, once again with another DLC that's part of it, or a standalone free update. Is something that I guess we will have to wait and see if it does eventually come to the game. And another thing in terms of cut content is a quest in the underwater areas known as 20 Leagues Under the Sea. And there's a lot of mystery behind this. A lot of people are saying that this is cut content from the game, because this is a quest that's seemingly been found in the game, but nobody can access it, nobody can see the objectives for it. And the quest name itself, 20 Leagues Under the Sea, seems to be a reference to the movie 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is essentially about killing an underwater sea monster. A lot of people would compare this quest, I guess, in reality to the other quest in the game known as Here There Be Monsters, but this is entirely different. This is a quest that was seemingly cut from the game, as well as a harpoon gun that kind of goes in tangent with this. The harpoon gun, for those of you who don't know or haven't seen it yet, was a weapon that was found in the game files but not actually in the game available, and it had its own underwater animation and stuff like that, which does suggest, of course, that this would be used in underwater areas. So I guess that also goes well with this quest in a sense. And I mean, it would have been awesome. Just this quest sounds awesome from, I guess, from the reference to the actual movie, and just in general, an actual quest underneath the water areas would be awesome, because let's be honest, this is huge underwater area in Fallout that just isn't used. There's no specific, special type of sea creatures in there that you can go and hunt down and kill. There's no real main quest that you can go to, in the underwater areas and stuff like that. And there just isn't enough. And that's where the other DLC theory comes into play. A lot of people do believe, including myself, that this area of the map, or the water areas of the map, will be used in the form of, DLC content. There should be DLC, quests that will take you down there and stuff. And then maybe various other things that you will find down there when DLC comes out, which in my opinion, once again, is very plausible. I truly do believe that this will be used more often in the future. But moving away from cut content and getting more into the speculation and things that I would like to see, and a lot of this as well is coming from you guys on forums. And although some of this stuff may seem a little bit far-fetched, it is stuff that I personally would love to see. And the first one is the Capital Wasteland. Fallout 3 itself is referenced more than a few times over the course of Fallout 4. I mean, the game's events take place, I believe, like 10 years after Fallout 3. And I mean, heck, even some of the Fallout 3 characters have made their way into the Commonwealth in the time between games. And I guess it begs the question, what's changed in the Capital Wasteland since the events of Fallout 3? I guess that's, something that a lot of us would like to know. I'd love to see characters such as Three Dog return as well, one of my favorite characters, from Fallout 3, always urging you to fight the good fight. He has that awesome radio broadcasting voice. And I also believe he's mentioned a few times by Travis, who's that awkward Diamond City radio guy who you can actually listen into from Diamond City Radio. So, in my opinion, this would be great. I mean, once again, is it a little bit far-fetched to actually visit the whole area? I guess, but I would love to see just snippets of places that you can go to, maybe reintroduce some of those old characters once again, such as Three Dog and stuff like that. In my opinion, just would be awesome. And let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section down below. Another theory or idea that's actually been discussed on the article Tech Times was the time before the bombs. And as many of you guys may know by now, Fallout 4 starts, just prior to the nuclear war. It gives you, I guess, a brief idea of what the world of Fallout would be like before the nuclear war hit, but it's all a little bit too brief. You get a couple of minutes out of it, really, and that's exactly why this could be a great idea to actually play on this and explore these kind of areas into a little bit more detail. I mean, there's already been, powerful established simulations that exist in the world of Fallout. One example of this is Operation Anchorage DLC for Fallout 3, where essentially you stepped into a military simulation within that DLC, and it was awesome. I mean, it's something that definitely could work. They could have you go into a simulation very similar, and I mean, it definitely has potential for a DLC in my opinion. It's something that they could definitely play on and bring us back to some of those pre-war moments. I mean, let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comment section down below. Do you like this as a DLC idea? Be sure to let me know. I guess a couple of more things that I'm presuming they're going to play on as well, of course, is the settlement building. I'm presuming that they're going to add, a lot more materials into DLCs and stuff in terms of settlement building, to of course expand on that. General new areas that we've never seen before, I'm presuming will be added with DLCs and stuff as well. But those are just some of the general ideas that I've personally had as what I've seen on forums and articles and stuff that I thought I'd share with you guys today. Now let me know what you think of Fallout 4 DLC. What do you think Bethesda is cooking up? You know, what do you personally want to see in terms of Fallout DLC? Let me know down in the comment section down below, and I'll try to respond to as many of you guys as I can. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to be covering the DLC in its entirety. As soon as the info is released, I'm going to be putting it up on the channel, kind of discussing it with you guys and talking about it. As soon as the DLC drops, I'm going to be live streaming it right here on YouTube for you guys to tune in and interact and stuff. And I'll be covering all of the contents of the DLC itself, from rare weapons, armor, and much more, you know, storyline videos and stuff like that, for when it actually does end up releasing. So if you guys enjoyed this very different type of video today, kind of a long one, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below, guys. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new around, and I'll catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.